those of you who don't know me, I'm Nick Willer, I'm the Chief of Police here in Manchester. Before I start, I'd like to say in the brief time that we've been conducting this investigation, one thing that we've learned is that Denise Robert was an extraordinary individual. In light of the things that we found out just so briefly about what a wonderful human being she was, I want to express my heartfelt condolences to the family, all of her friends, and all of her co-workers. It's clear that this is a tragic loss, and I just think it's very important that those who knew her have an opportunity to reflect on the beautiful things that she brought to their lives. So I express my condolences to the Manchester Police Department. Obviously is taking this extremely serious. The reason I called this press conference today is because we're still trying to make sense of what happened last night. And because we don't know, like we would in most situations, I thought it was important that we inform the public. I'm not saying a public alarm, but I'm saying public awareness. Last night, Denise was walking a street in the north end of Manchester that is like any other neighborhood in that area. It's not a place that's overly frequented. I know that there's a word being used, random. I'm sure I'm going to be asked about whether or not it was a random act. You have to understand that is a quiet neighborhood street. If you were going to think of a random act, not so sure you would think that that would be the street something like that would occur on. However, we are going to explore every single possibility. And whether or not this was a random act is one possibility that will be explored until we know further. Doing the job as long as I have, with an extensive investigative background, it is extraordinarily rare that you have a random act of violence that would fit in a category like this, particularly when it comes to a homicide. So even though it is random, or even though it is extremely rare, we'll still be exploring whether or not it is random. However, until we get the person responsible, we really won't know what the intent is. In light of that, we are asking the public's assistance in helping us identify the person responsible. What we know is that she was on a darkened street. We know that the neighbors, some of whom were putting trash out, some of whom were driving by, heard what they thought was a firecracker, which we now know is a gunshot, then saw a pickup truck continue towards Carpenter Street from Ray Street before it took a right. It took a wide right, and then it proceeded down at a high rate of speed to Union Street, at which time it took another right. It continued all the way down towards the area of Webster Street before it wasn't seen again. What I'm asking is anybody who was out that night, for any reason that might have seen something that fits into, hey, I saw a pickup truck fly through Webster Street, or I saw a pickup truck pull off to the side and somebody get out. Anything that you think would be useful to the Manchester Police Department, I'm asking that you call us, 668-8711, and ask for detectives. You can even report it to the front counter. You can report it to Crime Line at 624-4040. What we do know is that it appears from a witness that it was a white male wearing a white tank top, possibly in their 30s or 20s or 30s, and he had close cropped hair. Again, anybody that may have any information that could identify this person that was in the area that night. I'm also seeking to identify any homeowners during that route that may have some sort of surveillance video on their homes. If you do, again, please contact the Manchester Police Department at 668-8711. Make sure I touch on all my points.